Welcome to section 3.1, solving system of equation using the elimination method. Now, let's review before we do actual solving. When we're doing the elimination method, you have to follow three criteria. First one, make sure they're the same variable. Second, make sure they have the same number, meaning the same coefficient in front of the variable. And lastly, they must have opposite sign. When it comes to elimination, we have to cancel in order to solve for the variable. For the one that is canceling, again, it must be the same variable. They must have the same number, same coefficient, and then they must have the opposite sign. We're going to cover using all three criteria where we make them the same number, where we make them the opposite sign, and of course, we always check it's the same variable. In example 1, we have 6x plus 6y equals negative 18. Our second equation, negative x minus 6y equals negative 17. So, in the first example, we would check if we can cancel out any variables right away. In this case, we can, because if we look at the y's, both y's, they both have the same number, same coefficient, and they have the opposite sign. In that case, if that is possible, then let's eliminate the y's. So the y's going to cancel out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to combine the x's vertically. So 6x minus x, that will be 5x. My equal sign. Negative 18 minus 17, that will be negative 35. Now once I get 5x equal to negative 35, what I'm going to do is just solve for x. Divide by 5, divide by 5. So x will equal to negative 35 divided by 5 will be negative 7. So here's our first solution. Now to solve for the other variable, just like substitution, you can plug it in into any of the variables, equations, and it should give you the same answer for y. So let's do the first one. So 6x plus 6y equal negative 18. I'm going to plug in the x value, which is negative 7, into this equation. So 6 times negative 7 plus 6y equals negative 18. This would become negative 42. So plus 6y equals negative 18. Now just to get 6y by itself, I'm going to add 42 on both sides. Plus 42, plus 42. So this will cancel. 6y equals negative 18 plus 42, well, that's going to be positive 24. And in order to solve for y, I'm going to divide by 6, divide by 6. So y will be equal to positive 4. Now, what would happen had you done the other equation? Well, let's do the other equation, the second one. I'm going to write right here. Negative x minus 6y equals negative 17. Alright, so what I'm going to do is plug in negative 7 into the x value. Now be very careful, since the original equation it has a negative, we have to keep it there. So it's just like the number here, 6, it's there, so we have to keep it there. So negative, and then negative 7 minus 6y equals negative 17. And then this would become positive 7. Then minus 6y equals negative 17. So I'm going to cancel out the positive 7, which is subtract 7 on the left, subtract 7 on the right. So it's going to be negative 6y equal, now negative 17 minus 7, that would be negative 24. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 6. doing so, I'm going to get y equal negative 24 divided by negative 6 would be a positive 4. If we look, it came out as the same value for y, which means that it works. So we're good. Now again, I repeat, you can plug into the first equation or the second equation, and it should give you the same value. That's contingent if the x value is correct, and the order will be the same vice versa. So my second solution is y equals positive 4. Now if you want to write it as a coordinate point, you can. So parenthesis, x comes first, so negative 7. And then y comes second, so 4. Now if it was different letters, like AB or MP or SW, when you write it as a coordinate point, you put it in alphabetical order. So that's easy. So repeat, you can write it as a coordinate point as your one solution. If it's x, y, x comes first and then y. If it's different letters, then you just put it in alphabetical order. Example 2, we have negative 5x plus 4y equals 21. And in the second equation, 5x minus 10y equals negative 10. Now we check. Can we cancel out any of the variables from the beginning? In this case, we can. If I look at my x's, it has the same number, same coefficient, and its opposite sign. So we can cancel, which is good. So let's do that. The x's will cancel. So I'm going to combine my y's vertically. So positive 4y minus 10y, that's going to become negative 6y. Positive 21 minus 15, that will be a positive 6. To solve for y, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 6. Positive 6 divided by negative 6 will be negative 1. So here's our first solution. Alright, once we get our y value, now we just solve for x. So let's say I'm going to do the first equation. I'm going to plug in the y value, which is negative 1, into here. So again, I'm switching out y with the value of it, which is negative 1, with the parenthesis. So it's negative 5x plus 4 times negative 1 equals to 21. So I'm going to simplify 4 times negative 1. So negative 5x minus 4 equal 21. And then I'm going to add 4, because I want to cancel out the minus 4. So I'm going to add 4 here. So it will be negative 5x equal 21 plus 4 will be 25. And then I'm going to solve for x by dividing both sides by negative 5. So my x value will equal to 25 divided by negative 5 will be also negative 5. So my second solution is x equals negative 5. Now if I want to write as a coordinate point, parenthesis, x comes first, so negative 5, and then y, which is negative 1. So here's my solution in coordinate point form. Or you could write it as two solutions, one for y and one for x.